Hey everyone, Mike here with the watch list video for Tuesday, March 4th. Have you ever coughed so freaking much that you end every coughing spell with the F word? Now I'm so sick of it. Anyway, I'll use the cough button for this video if it hits me again, but I apologize for not being on the mic. I think I gave two ideas today. By the way, SPY kind of an ugly day today. The 200 days down there at 570.85. If you want to look at the Qs real quick, it actually is getting real close to the 200 days. So certainly some weakness out there. Anyway, I think I gave two ideas today. One of them was, let me get this 200-day chart off here now. Hang on. All right, so one of my ideas was ACON, which you can see the massive volume today and the big gap up. Let me go to 5-minute candles for those of you that weren't there. Once it halted right here, and I knew the high of day was up here, it became really interesting to me. So it rips and pulls back, and I called it in the ones buy zone. Which these are, I zoomed in a little bit here. These are 5-minute candles, so you can go on your own chart and zoom in on ones, and you'll see it. But it was right around here at 745, about 20 cents risk, and really within 2 minutes it went to 850. When this is back up near the high of day, I'm obviously selling, and it got real whippy after that. But there was kind of a neat little trade. I waited for the bulls to be firmly in charge, right? And then took that first pullback. And then late in the day, I mentioned NVIDIA under 113, and I got it at 112.50 something right about there. And I got like a buck on some, and then it pulled back, and I was out the rest. It is kind of bouncing in after hours. Anyway, long story short, this is not a normal watch list video in that you're going to see some bounce plays on here, but they're not your typical looking bounce plays. By the way, I got to show you something funny. I took a screenshot. This is the SPY Daily. Took this earlier today. So you've got all these red days, this nasty red day, and then my cough took over so bad that I took this day off. And then you had the, bearish engulfing. So it's kind of funny when you look at the last week, maybe 6-7 days. The one nice big day was the day I wasn't here. That's vintage me right there. That's typical. Anyway, I thought it was kind of funny. So the bounce plays I have on watch aren't typical bounce plays in that we all had that big bounce on Friday. So a lot of charts have, look like this, right? You had the big bounce on Friday in the market and then another nasty day. I still think some of these could give a decent bounce. And for that reason, I've got some little bit different looking, bounce plays. But anyway, ACON, let me zoom in. This one goes on watch. Oh, let me put up my thingy. I always put this up for new members so you can kind of get an idea of what this is about. None of this is investment advice. We look for intraday trades, but you always want to start with the daily chart. So we want to start with charts that could give a nice move tomorrow. You can see the massive volume in ACON today and a fairly strong close. So we definitely want to watch that one tomorrow. GRRR is also one that normally wouldn't be on watch, right? Because you got this gap up and then the nasty red candle. But overall, it still had a good headline, and it's fallen, $6-7 off the intraday highs. Probably needs to come in another day or two, but I'm going to start watching that one tomorrow. ORGO, also not a normal looking stock, had the big rip on Friday and then popped today, but ended up going out at the lows. Treat it like a bounce play, right? Because anyway you slice it, it did have a good earnings report on Friday, and you could argue just got taken down with the market, and it was due for it was overbought anyway. RILY. This had earnings after hours, and as I'm talking to you, it's trading at 550, so no event really, but it did have a nice move and then a few days lower. And because it had earnings, this could get some legs tomorrow, and it might completely roll over. But I'm going to put it on a chart because that's what I do. TGTX, great relative strength today. Traded that once today. That one goes on watch for tomorrow. PEPG, kind of interesting, kind of a quiet inside day after this nice 2-day pop. Goes on long watch. I think I maybe already mentioned NVIDIA took out these recent lows, but ended up in after hours is slightly above that. I'm going to treat it as a bounce play. I think we could get a decent bounce in NVIDIA tomorrow. The overall market is going to be a big deal too. We'll see. I think Trump is addressing Congress tomorrow night, so the market could be on hold all day until we see what that's about too. So just keep that in mind. You always want to know about the macro stuff. TSM had that announcement. investing 100 billion, whatever, in Arizona, and it's pretty beaten up. And so I'm again another one that had a headline, could give a bounce. Dell, pretty ugly chart, but I keep thinking, didn't they have a deal recently with X? And it's pretty beaten up. So anyway, that one goes on bounce watch. None of these are beautiful charts. I'm aware of that. AMBA had earnings and the bottom just fell out, and I just glanced at the headlines and earnings didn't seem bad. So you can put the horizontal line where I all had support back here, and it's gotten there in a hurry. Probably my favorite tomorrow for a potential snapback bounce. And then SMCI, again, just a little bit oversold, maybe a snapback bounce in that. Weird list, I know, but we'll add some gappers in the pre-market and hopefully catch some good trades tomorrow. All right, see you in chat.